What's up, guys? Welcome to Stand Firm with Ben. My name is Ben, and I'm really excited because this episode is going to be of a lot of value. I have one of my really, really close friends, somebody I consider family. He's like my sister. Not just kidding. He's like my brother. Derek Childs in the house. How you doing, dude?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Doing good. Are you excited?
I'm excited to be here. This is nice.
I'm excited you're back. You were gone for a long time.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm excited to chat.
Tell people where you were.
Where I was.
Yeah.
I was. Am I talking at this?
No, you can do whatever.
Okay.
Well, you were doing sales because I'm gonna give you a good intro actually in the beginning. Let me introduce yourself.
Okay.
Guys, just so you guys can get to know Derek.
Oh gosh.
I met Derek. Well, it was like 2022 November. It's almost gonna be a year ago, and he's one of the best dudes I know. He helps me a lot spiritually with just his energy. He's a great athlete. He's a regional manager in sales at a company called Hawks. You have about 50, 60 people
Yeah.
on your team.
We're gonna be growing a lot.
He's into bodybuilding right now. He's one of my business partners at 20U. We're building something amazing, and we do a lot of things together. He's 23, right?
Yep.
23. And Derek is here because today we're going to talk about sales. And if you don't know anything about sales, we're going to give you at least 5 to 6 tips on how you can become like a badass dude when it comes to sales and dominate and be amazing and make a lot of money and help a lot of people. So from 0 to 100 right away. And I want Derek to be here because there's a lot of companies that they focus a lot in sales here in Utah, but I respect a lot of your culture within your team. And I truly believe that most of the stuff that we're going to talk about, you apply them already. So I'm really excited because I think you're the perfect fit for this episode, specifically about sales. So is there anything else you want to add so people can get to know you? Any hobbies? You're golfing? Do you golf?
Yeah, I love golfing.
We're going to play golf tomorrow.
It's gonna be great.
Well, this episode's going to drop later on, but never mind. Anyway, anything else you want to add for the people?
I think that's it. That's
You're in
great.
school? What are
Yeah,
you studying?
I'm also in school. Yeah, studying finance.
Okay, why did you go back to school?
Yeah, that's a crazy.
You're making a lot of money. You have your career already. Why? Why the necessity of going back to school?
Yeah. I felt I felt really strong about getting back into school, and to be 100% honest, I don't know why. But I try my very best to do what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
And that felt like a very true thing for me. And so I don't know if I need to meet people. It probably is. I'm sure I need to meet people there. But I also think that maybe there's something there for me that I don't understand yet. So right now I'm just studying finance because I enjoy the game of business. I enjoy the game of business, and it's really fun. And so for me, school is not fun, which is but I'm doing this because I believe in a higher purpose.
And I think, dude, that's from all the intro that I just gave you, I think that's why I asked you this question, because right there, what you just said, it's the thing that makes you the most, which is you always try to put God first in your life. And regardless of everything, what's going on in your life and the priorities you have in your job and everything, your career, I really admire that because you're real intentional when it comes to your relationship with God and your spirituality as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing.
It definitely hasn't always been that way, but I try. I try today, right? So.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, dude, let's make some people better. Let's help these people understand why sales is so important.
Cool.
And let's start with the concept of sales. When I think about sales, dude, I don't even, as I told you before, I don't even think about sales. I think about helping people. And I think a lot of people here, especially in Utah, because you have a lot of companies that they do sales and stuff during the summer and everything. They're pretty known for that. And they have a bad reputation when it comes to sales. People, when they think about sales, it's I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to do this and stuff. But in my opinion, sales is a lifestyle. You're always doing sales. When you're talking to girls, when you're getting a job, when you're making new friends, when you're giving a speech, you're always selling yourself to someone or selling a vision or selling a message. So what's your take on it? Because first, let's talk about the principle itself of sales and why it's so important for people to acquire that skill and to be good at it.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing is sales should I believe that business is a spiritual game.
Okay.
And I've heard that from a person. His name's Casey Ball. I heard that first from him, so I don't take that. But I believe that truly.
It's not your quote?
It's not my
I've
quote.
always believed it's yours.
Yeah, definitely not mine. And like, I just believe what he says. Like, business is a spiritual game, and if we're playing on a spiritual game, then that means like there's ethics involved for sure. That means that we're trying to do our very best for other people, and it's ultimately it's not about you. And so, and I feel so like that's why I feel like the tank is always filled. Like after we go and make a business deal, or after we go and like prepare something for 20U, you and I, or after we go and you go make a deal on the doors or do whatever you're doing, like, dude, it fuels you if you really feel like you're taking care of someone. And there's literally nothing better than getting those texts from those customers being like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, this has changed my life. Like, one thing that's cool about 20U that we're hoping to build is like, I want people to be wearing 20U, not because of us, but because 20U is a symbol for the transformation that they've had. So they say, all they're saying is, hey, this is a symbol of my transformation. And we want to make them the hero of their own stories. And so everything in business, we're allowing people to be the hero in their own story. And it's just awesome. Like, if you have that mindset and you're really helping people, then dude, it's an infinite tank. Like the energy never runs out.
No, I agree, but I think why do you think a lot of people, especially here, they have like a bad relationship with sales? Because I mean, you talk to your friends, or I mean, most of your friends are in sales, but like people outside, you're like, you tell them what you do and stuff. It's like, that's not for me or something. Like, most people don't like sales, which in my opinion doesn't make any sense, because like it's a lifestyle. You're always selling something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What do you think about it?
So my first thought is get rich quick. Like, get rich quick doesn't exist.
Okay.
Like, in my opinion. I mean, I know people that have gotten rich quick.
No, it's the exception. Like, it happens like 1 in a million, but like get rich quick. If you're actually gonna get rich, like, there's not get rich quick. There's grind your face off, get dirty, do all the stuff when nobody's watching, and then make a ton of money later. Yep.
That's kind of, and I just don't think that people are ready for that type. And I think, honestly, part of the problem is that most of the people that are recruiting are not setting expectations well.
Okay.
They're not building people. The people that are recruiting, it's not about the person they're recruiting, it's about them. And so they're like, hey, dude, you're going to make a ton of money. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Like, it's going to be perfect. How sick is this going to be? And that sucks. That just absolutely sucks when you're the recruit now and you just recognize all your manager wanted to do was make a bag off you. So he didn't treat you well. He didn't focus on your personal development. He didn't spend time with you outside of anything that made him money. And you didn't grow personally. You didn't develop. You didn't become the type of salesperson. Also, ultimately, the sad part and the funny part and the ironic part is that manager lost more money because he didn't develop and spend the time. And one of my mentor, Ben Ward, he says, if you take the time it takes less time. So a lot of people aren't willing to build a foundation. And I just believe that's the truest thing. So ultimately, to answer your question, I think it has to do with poorly set expectations.
They just have a bad experience.
People don't care about other people.
Yeah.
They also don't want to take the time it takes. They're trying to get money quick.
I agree 100%. And I think, like, adding to that, a lot of people, they just have a bad experience when it comes to sales. Like, they don't even believe in the product. They don't like the culture of the company. They don't like their leaders. They don't like what they're selling. They don't like either the program or their service or the product they're selling. So, like, obviously you're going to struggle at sales.
Yeah.
But I think sales is a natural thing. Sales is like, dude, everybody should be great at sales. Because, like, even if you start a company or something, like, imagine, like, the first thing is sales. Like, if you're not selling, you're not growing.
Yeah, there's something that you're saying is like everything's sales, and I think that some of our audience is probably like, oh, like, I don't like that. No, you do like sales.
You just don't know yet.
Yeah. It's like you like sales because, Ben, you're wearing an Apple Watch. Ben, you're wearing that shirt. Ben, you're wearing Crocs. Ben, you're wearing this hat. Ben, you're wearing, like, we're wearing, like, dude, we were sold into this wood. Like, getting this is an aesthetic. This microphone was a sale. Like, Everything, dude. I'm stoked about the aesthetic. I'm stoked about the microphone. I'm stoked to wear this Apple Watch. I love white Vans.
What would be your definition of sales? So we're gonna keep talking about the principle, and then let's jump into the list and how to get better at sales and to develop skills. But what would be a definition?
You know, a definition.
Value exchange.
Yeah, sure.
I give you a service. I give you information. I give you something valuable in order for like a return, either money or your time or your energy or something.
I think that's a great one. Yeah, I think that's
think
awesome. A value exchange.
I think that's a way.
But it's an exchange. It's not like one's a parasite, right? You can't have like if we're partners in 20U, Ben, like I can't be just like extracting good from you. I have to give. It's like a marriage.
Do you think a lot of people, they also struggle at sales because they don't like to ask?
Yeah, I think people don't like to be pushy.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons why people don't want to do sales is because they feel like they're pushing an agenda on something that the person doesn't want.
Okay.
And a lot of that happens is if they don't believe in that themselves.
Yeah, that's a huge one for sure. Because I think when it comes to sales, dude, I think like it's like probably like 80 or more % like mental. Probably 90.
Oh, dude, it's all mental.
Yeah, honestly, it's a lot of, and probably 90, like the 10% is like the product, like the design, everything, the benefits.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I think like 90% is just like a mental thing.
Definitely.
You know, but
at least in the selling process, it's all mental. But as far as like the thing itself, yeah, way more.
No, yeah, 100%. Okay, let's just jump into this thing, dude. Let's help make some people better so they can go from like sucking at sales and being great.
Sure.
First point that I had, because I made a list here, is focus on the customer, not yourself, and solve their problem. And I think this is a big one. And I want you to share your story, like, because I think you have the right mentality and the right mindset when it comes to this first point.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are thinking about, I got to make money, instead of how can I solve this person's problem?
Yeah.
Because again, it's a value exchange. What solution am I bringing? I got to focus on the customer. It's not about a me thing. You know, what's your take on it?
I mean, I couldn't agree with that more. Like, and you know what my personal thought is, like, and we'll get more into this, but I think it stems with, if you think you is the center of everything, you're wrong.
Yeah. And
I believe it. If people, my personal opinion, and I don't know if I'm like allowed to get into spiritual beliefs, but I believe.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because I was gonna do it anyways.
Then why do you ask?
So yeah, but like, dude, if you don't believe in a higher power, and like from like God, literally, it's like, dude, if we think that we can do this by ourselves, you're wrong. You're so wrong. And before I kind of get into my story, can I share an experience from this last summer?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there was this one day, and I can tell after I've done this job for a long enough time, I can tell when I'm slipping.
Okay.
Like I can tell when and when I think slipping, I think complacency. And so when I start to feel like, yeah, I got this, that's the dangerous spot. Because if I'm like, yeah, I got this, no, you don't, dude. The dogs in our industry, the guys who freaking crush it, are the ones that recognize, I need to keep growing. I need to keep going. I got more to learn, right? And so when I start feeling like I got this, so one day I prayed to God and I said, God, please help me. Like, please humble me. And that's a scary thing to ask, because like, I'm like, dude, what is he going to do? Take my car, like, he's going to take everything, you know, like I didn't know what he's going to do, but I just said, God, please humble me, because this is bigger. I want to put you first, and I'm putting myself up on a pedestal. And I said, please keep me humble and teach me that I need you. And I was doing this as I was knocking doors, because I feel like I'm a great salesperson. And it was crazy, Ben, because I went out that day, and for anybody that doesn't know, I knocked doors, right? Ran a sales team. We were in Atlanta, Georgia this year, and selling pest control, year-long subscriptions. And I went out to go knock these doors, and there was this one neighborhood that we walked into, and you know, I just kind of know, like, I'm like, here we go. You know, there was a bunch of like minivans pulling in, and there was a bunch of like kids running around, and I just like know that people are gonna be there. And when people are there, it's like game over. Let's do this. I'm like, we're gonna freaking shred this up. And so I go and I start knocking all these doors, and I had somebody shadowing me,
What means shadowing? Like somebody learning from you, going with you.
They were like 10 feet behind me, just watching me as I did the job and watching how I did things. And you know what's crazy, Ben, is I prayed that prayer and I went out to go knock, and no one answered.
Really?
And it wasn't one of those things where people are hiding from me. Like, people didn't, like, I've been in neighborhoods where people, like, you hear like the door bolts locked, like you hear people like close their blinds and they're like, look, like, I've been in that. This was not that. I was walking through the neighborhood knocking doors for 8 hours and no one answered.
You didn't talk to a single person.
It was the weirdest experience of my like door-to-door career. And at the end of the day, one person answers and we sold them, and then I was just like, whew. I was like, holy cow. And for the guy behind me, the lesson he learned was like, hey, continue having a good attitude, keep pushing, right? That was the lesson he learned. He's like, oh, I loved how you know. For me, you know what I freaking learned? I can't do it on my own. Because for me, Ben, I went out and I went to go knock doors, and you know what God taught me? Literally right after that deal, like, and then we went home after one deal, right? Because we finished the day. It was dark at that point. And God just slams this thought in my head, and he's like, no matter how good you are at pest control, if the door doesn't open, you can't sell the person. And it's literally by God's grace that the doors are opened. Like, literally, God allows the doors to open in my life. And so all these people think it's about them. And I'm just talking about the simple principle of, like, none of the everything. Sales, life, like, I think sales is a good representation of life because it keeps you hungry, it keeps you sharp. But, dude, I can't sell a person if the door isn't opened. And no matter how good I am, and he taught me that lesson. And so for the rest of the summer, I had this perspective of, I can't do this on my own. It's not about me. It was like, this is about something bigger. All those things kind of revolved around. And so
it's a crazy experience.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to share that because guys in sales think it's about them. They're ready to, and I say guys in sales, and I speak generally.
No, but like, I honestly, dude, I like you're good at sales because you can be like thinking about you and the money, and you can be like making like big deals and stuff. But I don't think it's like morally right. That's why I like your culture and your team, because I think the only dude that I've met in this industry that have the right mindset when it comes to this is you. Like, everybody else is just focusing on them. I remember like during the summer, you called me and you were like, dude, like, I'm focusing on the money and I feel bad. I want to focus on helping people. Because when I do that, and you even told me like when they put like deadlines, oh, you got to make this certain amount and stuff. And I think having goals is fine because it pushes you and everything.
Totally.
But even stuff like that is like, now it's not about me. No, it's not about them that I'm helping someone. It's about like, I got to reach the goal. I got to make money. And then when you're talking with the person, you're not even focusing on them. You're talking about like, how can I sell them? How can I sell them? How can I make money? So it creates this really bad feeling for the person when they're providing a product, a solution, or a program or a service or whatever. You know, I remember when I was in the car industry, because like I was telling you, I managed a car dealership here in Utah, startup. And it was really cool because like I was in charge of sales and everything. And I love dealing with people. I just love building relationships with people and everything. And I think something that happens in sales is that people are not stupid nowadays. They know, like back in the day, like they I think they've been able to develop a better BS detector, in my opinion. So now, like, if you suck, they're going to know. Like, if you have bad intentions, they're going to know. If you're not authentic or genuine, they're going to know, you know? So might as well be real, be authentic. So I remember when in the dealership, it was really cool, dude. Like, one week I saw, like, 5 cars and stuff. And in the beginning, I was, like, thinking of, like, when I'm talking with a customer, I was like, oh, I got to make a commission. And I felt horrible because I wouldn't even listen to this person. I was just trying to sell them on something.
Yeah.
But when I flipped my perspective of like, you know what, dude, regardless if I make the commission or how can I help you? And there were times that people would come to our dealership and they were looking for a specific car. And I'm like, dude, yeah, we don't have that. Like, if that's what you truly want, you know, go to this place because they have that car. We don't have them here. I think if that's what you're looking for, I'm not even trying to sell you the stuff that we have because that's not what you're looking for. You know, I really want to help you. It's not a me thing. And like some people would be like, wait, what? Like you're sending me to another? Yeah, dude, I'm sending you like get out of my dealership.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else because like I truly want to help you, brother. It's about you. I want to help you satisfy your needs. Why? Because I'm playing the long term game. You know, and people will recognize that. And the thing is that with the guy that owned the dealership, dude, he was just money driven. Money driven. He was really uncomfortable because like I remember one time we sold a truck, an F-150 to a customer, and it was a great experience for me. It was like one of my first vehicles and everything that we sold, and I was really friends with the dude that bought the car because like I'm like, and that's gonna be another topic, but like building relationships. But I would like try to build a relationship with a person, because building the trust factor I think is huge too, because they have to trust you. So anyway, long story short, it ended up having a 2 days go by, and the dude called me back. He's like, hey bro, like the frame is damaged, and like you didn't tell me. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. So I called my boss and I'm like, hey bro, like did you know this? And he's like, oh yeah, I knew. And I'm like, why you didn't tell me? He's like, oh, screw him, he already signed the contract and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, we can't do that. You know, like if you know that your product or something is not in perfect condition or something, you're playing with the dude's life. Like screw the commission and stuff, just do the right thing. You know, and like I had a lot of opportunities and experiences like that. Like I feel like I was in the middle, and it made me feel horrible. Because like I truly believe that the more people you help, the more value you add, the more problems you solve, the more money you make. Like money's a byproduct on how you can solve somebody else's problem and how much value you can add.
I'm going to add to that too. I also don't think that people can bring enough value unless they're growing themselves.
100%. 100%.
And the thing is, if I am not developing as a person, then the reason I'm trying to look for a quick buck or look for a little cut the corner is because it requires more of me, and I'm not ready for that.
That is true.
But that's a
good point.
If I'm tough and I'm tight and I'm mentally prepared for that, and when I say mentally prepared, I think everybody in this industry has a strong idea of like, I got to be David Goggins. And I don't think that's the case. When I think about mentally tough, the person that's the most mentally tough person ever was Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's a dog, dude.
He's a dog. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
He's probably Chilean. I'm pretty sure he has to. That's so bad.
He's like, you know, it's not he's over here. You don't have to run, 100 days of marathons. You just have to think, ultimately think about, it's way more mentally tough to think about someone else.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because you're dealing with emotion. You're dealing with a lot of like their experiences, the way they were, like there's way more that comes with it. I'm
sorry, I totally took you off on that tangent. I don't know if
you
want me to at least say my story like super fast, or do we?
With the story with what?
At least like how I started. Is that something that you still want to get out?
Let's go with pest control.
Yeah. Did you want that? Sorry, I literally just
let's do it because like I truly believe it's related to the first point of like focus on the customer, not yourself, and maybe people can relate to your story because like you started in sales like 4 years ago.
It was actually 3.5 years ago.
Okay, well, talk about the story because I think it's really valuable.
So I got back from my LDS mission. It was in March 28th of 2020, and so it was almost April. It was like a couple days away from April, and the summer starts. Long story short is I looked into a bunch of companies, and a bunch of companies go sell pest control and alarms and solar during the summertime. And I looked into a bunch of companies, and there's some people that I trusted that I knew would take care of me, that I just felt so strongly they would take care of me. And I ended up going to that group because I was like, cool, I'm going to be in this for a long time, and I'm going to play a long game. And that was that part right there is really important, is because I knew I'd play the long game. So I said, who's going to be there with me? Who's going to help me? The question I was answering is, who is going to help me be the best me?
You know, it's funny. I'm glad you brought up this story because like I think I didn't have this on my notes, but I'm gonna add this when it comes to sales, because
Please.
choosing the right people,
Oh,
the right community,
dude.
and the right culture is key to be good at sales, and so you can have a good experience
It's
with it.
so key.
So this is a great point that you're talking about.
And some people, you know, and even in this industry, they just say, "Hey, look at the results." I say, "Well, okay, let's look at all of the results."
Yeah.
I personally, Ben, the way I choose who I work with is based upon these three things, or who I get mentorship or advice from. I say, number one, have they been where I've been? Have they been where I've been? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm dirt broke right now. Like, I'm just broke.
You had what, $7 in your bank account?
$6.
$6.
Yeah, I remember
He's
it
like
well.
the story of the Rock that he had like $7. You're
Did
like
he
the
really?
mini Rock, the white Rock.
D-Rock.
D-Rock, I gotcha, bro.
There you go.
That's what they call you, D-Rock?
That's why they call
Actually?
well, not reason, but what? Sounds like it, but I'll take it.
Just for,
But yeah,
that's
so
a good, yeah, that's a good one.
so and then number two is, are they somewhere that I want to be?
Yeah.
And number three is, this one's maybe the most important. Do they live their life in a behavior that I admire? Because I know a lot of guys that have been dirt broke that are super rich, but then treat their wives and family like crap.
Yeah. You want somebody who's winning in all areas in their life. Because
yeah.
you're not just made of money. You have like mental skills, spirituality, physical stuff, and financial areas, you know?
Yeah. In the scriptures, the first thing that God tries to get people to like forget is money.
Yeah.
He's like, you've lost yourself. Forget the money. Remember me.
100%.
And so, anyways, going back to the story, is I ended up choosing this group
The
and
people.
those people. I chose those people, and we've actually moved companies since then, but I've never left the people, and we've grown like crazy, and it's been awesome. But choosing those people,
That's a
and
great
then
point, dude.
I started, and I told everybody I was going to break the rookie record because I'm like, dude, I have confidence in my work ethic when I started, and I am to date the worst pest control salesperson to ever start that I've ever known, because I was knocking
Till
300
this
doors.
day, he hasn't sold anything.
I still, you know what? I
It's
should just.
been 4 years.
I just gotta walk out, man.
You're still trying.
Yeah, I don't have any results at all. There's nothing that's happened since then.
Like, I'm
I don't
actually
even-
working at McDonald's.
I don't. Yeah, I'm at McDonald's right now. I flip patties. I make $7 an hour. That'd be a crazy story. You brought me on a podcast.
Oh my gosh. dude.
So,
That was funny.
I don't even know where I was at. Where was I at?
You're talking about the. What are you talking about?
McDonald's.
No, you're the that you sucked in the beginning.
Yeah. So I was knocking anywhere between 250 and 300 doors a day.
Which is a lot. Most people knock like what, like 150 a door.
I only know one other person that's ever knocked that close. And I was knocking all the hours. I was waking up early hours early to train. I was going to bed hours later to train. I was playing confidence tapes, like, because I knew confidence. So I would play that like subconsciously as I'd go to bed.
You were trying hard.
Everything, dude.
Yeah.
And 3.5 weeks went by and I didn't make any deals. And then, but I knew, like, I had no doubt that I would be the top rookie, and I didn't know how I'd do it. But one day I made a deal, and then I made more deals, and I kept on going. And then within about 2.5 months, I ended up breaking that company's rookie record. And anyways, it may have been B. I don't know. I know where we're at now; it's just demolished. But that taught me something, and I had to learn from the ground up. I had to learn.
And how much from those results was influenced by the people, the community, the culture that you chose
Everything.
instead of somebody that had the results?
When I say everything, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. The leader was just boss.
Because, dude, I'm really glad you brought up those points, because a lot of people, again, I think culture is everything. You can be like, in order for you to be good at sales, you need good leaders, you need good culture, you need good community. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have that point, so I'm glad you brought it up. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that.
Yeah, and then I ended up breaking the rookie record that year, and then grew, a lot since then, and it's been a blessing. So, but yeah, like, money is the byproduct, and the
contact like 20 different people.
Yeah.
And there was this one freaking 18-year-old kid. Everybody was just like, oh, how much money you want to do? Like inventory, how much money? We'll give you a discount. These are the shipping fees. These are the quotes, all this stuff. Just pure numbers. So I was like, I want to build a relationship with someone. I want to see who do I click with. So there was this kid, this 18-year-old Chinese kid that I contact. And this dude took the extra time to go to our Instagram, look at our videos, look at our documentary, listen to our podcast, go to our website, read about our mission. And then he texted me one time. He's like, Ben, in one of our video calls, he's like, I really believe in your mission. I really like what you guys are doing with helping people find their purpose. I love the mentality of like living a life with urgency. And I would love to help you guys. And dude, I'm like, holy crap, that meant the world to me. Because this dude didn't focus just on like, oh yeah, let me make a sale, whatever. He focused on like, I want to see what matters to this band, dude, and these 20 you guys. I want to build a relationship with them. I want to get to know them a little bit more. And because of that one single kid, and then we built a relationship upon it. It was amazing. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and we still work until this day with them. And honestly, I've gotten like pretty good deals and offers from other manufacturers, but I don't want to leave this company because of that freaking 18-year-old kid that made me feel special, that made me feel that we had something. And he lives in China, you know. So
What's his name?
Billy, dude, I love that kid. Like now he's not working at the company, but now I've been able to build a relationship with the other person. But like when he left, I was genuinely sad because like I really like the kid, you know, and like we would talk, like he would follow me on Instagram and all this stuff. So like I truly believe when you have a relationship with someone, when you're friends with them, it's way easier to make a sale because they know that you care about them. There's a certain relationship. There is a certain amount of trust. Because trust, when it comes to sales and helping people, it's huge. So that's my story. And obviously, there's more to it, but I think focusing on building relationships with the person and make them feel that they're people too, not a transaction. That you're building people, not just a transaction thing. It's huge when it comes to sales and serving people.
I 100% agree. There's like two things that I wrote down. There's something about treating people like it's their first time. There's something about treating people like it's their first time. So for you, you know, that was your first time getting into that space, and he made you feel like, hey, I'm gonna take care of you.
I'm gonna take care of you.
It's something. It's like
he was on my side.
He was on your team.
Yeah, he made me feel like he was on my team. That's the thing.
Yeah,
because with sales, it's like a battle for some people. It's like me versus the customer, and it's now, dude. We're in the same team. I want to help you.
Same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that was one thing. And one thing that I also took from your story that's really important to understand too is the platinum rule. I think a lot of people say
platinum rule? Yeah,
people say, hey, like the golden rule is treat others like how you'd want to be treated.
Yeah.
But the platinum rule, which is platinum's like better than gold, right? So they say this is the platinum rule. I don't know how publicly known this term is. But the platinum rule is treat others as they would want to be treated. So not as how you want to be treated, but how they would want to be treated. So now I got to think, what does he want? I'm not asking, okay, what would I want? And I'll give that to him. I'm thinking one step farther. And I think that that's kind of what he did for you. He's like, you know what? This is what he wants. Ben, you know, Billy was like, yo, Ben wants this. And he helped you with it.
Yep.
And now I, you know, it's cool that I get to be part of that relationship. Like now I'm a byproduct of that relationship that happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right. That's freaking awesome.
I think it's huge, dude. I feel like those sales like that, when it's like friends, they feel so natural and so good because you're actually providing value to somebody that you care about.
Yeah.
You know, you want to help them win. Genuinely. You know, because there's a lot of dishonest people out there. You know, so.
I love that.
Yeah.
You want to help them win. There's one more thing that I think is really interesting about business. I think business, just like leadership, is similar to parenting. And I'm not a parent, but I do understand that I do to some degree understand a small portion of what parenting would be like, because when you take care of people, like I've like been a coach before, and I've been like a trainer before, and I've been like a mentor before in ways, shapes, and forms. I've been a leader before in ways, shapes, and forms. And like all of it, it means, okay, if I'm the leader, you're now my child.
Yeah.
and I take care of you. Your interests, your best interest is what I care about most. So anyways, I was just thinking,
And I want to add something to this because I was going to add it on a different point, but I think it's related to this one, which is create loyalty. And when it comes about truly caring about the people.
yeah,
Because, dude, like, there's so many brands that offer the same product right now that the only difference that you can make and stand out is the customer experience. Truly taking care of your people. And for example, that's something that when we started 20U was like so like part of our vision. Like we don't want them to buy one time. We want them to stay with us. We want to build community with them. We want to truly help them. We want to build relationships with these people. We're playing the long-term game with these guys. We want them to get loyalty, have loyalty from them. And in order to do that, you have to care. You have to care. Before you can put an ad and run it like 1,000 times on the TV and something people would buy. Now, because like social media and like freaking technology and everything, like you have to develop, you have to do the extra mile. You have to do more for your people. Because like the expectation of the bar, and this is the other thing, the word of mouth, and this is another point, but I think it's related. The best marketing you can have, in my opinion, is word of mouth.
yeah,
Because if somebody else is telling somebody else about your product, about your service, about just who you are, you've made it in life. That's the best reputation you can have. And in order to do that, you have to do the right thing. You have to care about people. You have to solve their problem. You have to go the extra mile, what Billy did to us. You have to take interest in their lives and what they want, not what you want. You know, you were going to add something to this.
yeah. There's something that's really interesting. You can't word of mouth. I mean, you can, but it's weird to word of mouth more than one at a time. So there's something about like treating the one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like if I'm here with you, Ben,
Like being present with the person.
I care it's you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, I want what's best for you. And because I want what's best for you, I'm literally going to put my reputation on the line and say that this clothing brand has helped me.
Yeah.
Like my reputation, like my last name is now attached to that.
That's a good one.
But it's literally one by one. Like that's literally how everything great has ever started.
One
It's
person at a time.
at a time.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, let's just blast this. Let's go put $1,000 into Instagram ads and let's try to blast this. Like those get medium results. You know?
And even they might get like a lot of results.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to manage because they never focus on the one person, and then long-term game, they end up like bankrupt or out of business
Right? I mean,
because they can't deliver to the customer.
you're playing a short-term game trying to blast it like that.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Dude, my other point that I want to talk is benefits versus features.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in sales, they focus on the features of a product or service or program, which most people, yeah, they want to know, but what people want is how this product, service, or program is going to benefit them. And I'll give you an example. Why did you buy your Tesla?
To be honest,
Be completely honest with me. Why did you get your Tesla?
because it's freaking dope.
That's it. You didn't buy it because friggin' it's electric and you never had to pay maintenance. Like maybe that was like 10% of the reason of why you bought it.
Yeah.
But 90% is how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Because everybody in sales, you're driving a Tesla, looks good. It's like the new trendy thing.
Right.
So like it's the benefit that you get. And a lot of people in sales, they focus on the features of the product. Oh, dude, this Tesla, the 20 inches wheels like this black, dude, doesn't give a crap. Just focus on the benefits of the product and how it's going to serve you with what you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anything you want to add to that? To that point?
You know, the benefits are what people buy, man. I like just can't say it enough. Like that's just a true statement.
I want to add something to it also. There's a study that I heard a while ago, and probably is more now, but it said that 50% of why people buy stuff, their why, it's related to having a sexual relationship with the opposite sex.
Wow.
I want you to think about this for a minute. I think it's way higher right now.
Wow.
I want you to think. I think it's probably like 90% at this point. Like, think of why you go to the gym. Like, if you ask enough whys, you do certain things. Like, ask, like you, for example.
Confidence.
Okay, why you want to be more confident?
I mean,
Like at the end of the day.
I mean, maybe it's like because of women. I feel like that's like ultimately a lame reason, but like.
But like deep down, there's a reason of why you do certain things, and it's to attract the opposite sex to you.
For me personally, like, Yeah, there's some reason, like some of me is like, yes, I want to look good for the opposite sex.
Yeah,
Of course.
100%.
But I don't think that's personally, I don't think that's my main reason. But
But a lot of people, what they do is like they do it because of that.
yeah.
You know, the benefit that they get,
Yeah.
like the car that you drive. Like, why would you want to buy a Lamborghini? To look cool when like you pull up to like a freaking party or like to your friend's house and all the girls are looking at, like, literally, like, why the Tesla, why the house, why the watch, you know?
It's it's the feeling that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was really interesting when I heard that one. It was back in the day, it was like 50%, but I totally believe like now it's like probably like 95%. And everything's related to like attract a partner or the opposite sex
Crazy.
to like or something.
It's crazy what we do, man.
I know. All right. This one is really important. And I think this is where a lot of people fail and they have a bad experience when it comes to sales. And is be an expert on the product. Know your stuff. Because this builds credibility. And a lot of people, when they jump into sales or they jump with a company or to sell a product, they try to sell, but they don't even know what they're selling. They don't even know what the problem they're solving. They don't even know like the benefits or futures about this stuff. They don't even know, like, they're not an expert. So I think in order for people to trust you, which is a huge factor when it comes to helping somebody else, you have to have the trust factor. You have to be an expert in your field. You have to know your stuff. And a lot of people don't pay the dues or do the work for the preparation to know their stuff because they just want to go in and try to sell someone because they're thinking of themselves. And I think a really good example when it comes to this, it's you. And I wanted to share this story because I didn't think pest control, for example, was a huge thing before. I honestly thought you guys were scamming people until I sat down with you and you explained me the problem, the solution, the product, how you guys are helping people. And I was like, wow, this dude is right. Now I want to buy pest control and I don't even have a yard in my house, you know, but I see the need because I saw the credibility that you have because I realized that you're an expert in the product and in your field, and that builds credibility. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes a ton of sense.
Do you think a lot of people fail because they don't do the preparation as well in order to know their stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you think 100%?
100%. It's because it goes back to that thing where I said be a learn-it-all. Like, number one, I think the subconscious thing is people don't play a long-term game.
Yeah.
So if they don't play a long-term game, then why would they put long-term game type effort into it? So like if I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to make a quick bag and then I'm going to get back to school, like, or I'm going to make a quick bag and then get back to like, I need the car. I need to make a quick bag so I can, buy a ring. It's like, dude, you're missing the point. You learn the skill to serve the people. You serve the people well, you'll make a lot of money consequently.
100%.
So it's not for you to get your, like, yes, like good for you. Like you got a goal, but when you're selling pest control, are you really thinking about getting a car? Like, are you really stuck on that? So I think it comes back down to be a learn it all. Like how like the best leaders that I know were the best students.
And think about like this part about like doing the preparation and knowing your product. Have you ever been to All Sporting Goods?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Runner's Corner?
Yeah.
Why do you buy at Runner's Corners when you want to buy running shoes? What's the difference?
I feel like there's more shoes. I mean, that's like a thing.
When you talk to the sales dude, have you tried that?
Oh yeah, that too.
When you ask them, what's the difference between this shoe and this shoe? And they start freaking talking and delivering and value. And you're like, crap.
They definitely know what's up.
You know your stuff. You know what's up. You go to another store and they're like, oh, yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And you ask them, do you run? No, but like, yeah, I've heard. They don't even know their stuff.
Yeah, they say that this one's a good shoe.
Yeah, they suck.
They say, like, dude, I mean.
But dude, I spent like a lot of money on that store because I just love like how well prepared these guys are. Because you go and I am there for an hour. Like every time I've been there, I'm there for a freaking hour because they're teaching me. They're just over delivering it to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I have problems with my feet. Oh, I can help you. Maybe you have this injury. Let me give you like this video that you can run better and see which shoe do you have. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay, should I get a fiber, like a carbon fiber plate or no? And they explain all this stuff. They know like they're experts on their products. Builds total credibility. And I want to buy what they tell me to buy. I don't even know. I'll do what you want me to do.
Yeah, and sometimes
here's my credit card.
Like, sometimes you're like, yeah, like I'll just go on a run because I want to wear these shoes now.
Yeah.
You're like, these shoes are so cool because it fixes my problem. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to run.
Yeah, but I think that's a huge thing when it comes to like being great at sales. You gotta do your work. You gotta do your preparation. You gotta know your stuff. You gotta know what you're solving. You gotta know your product.
Yeah,
Because it builds the credibility, bro. Like if you don't know your stuff, dude, like you're like how are you gonna sell something that you don't even know like what you're even solving? You know? It's like the same thing with missionaries. Like we spend so much time learning their product, which
Right.
is helping people get closer to God. You know, so yeah, I think a lot of people because they don't want to either they're lazy or as you said in the beginning, they want to do like the get rich quick or something like that. They're not willing to invest the time in actually helping people and being an expert and being the best at what they do. Because
Yeah.
if you want to be the best, you gotta be the expert in your field. You know, yeah, that was with that point. I don't know if you want to add something to it, but
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that, but definitely be a pro. Like,
Yeah.
if you are not a pro, if you're not an absolute professional, why would I buy from you?
like think of you if you want to get heart surgery, would you go to a dude like you go and doesn't even know or a guy that knows exactly what you have?
Yeah, nobody wants to buy from the guy who didn't put any effort into it.
Yeah,
I don't want to do a charity case in business.
yeah,
I want to work with people who are competent.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
totally.
This is the last point I had is, and I think we've touched this already, but is the having the long term perspective.
Yeah.
And there's this quote that I really like that is you can have the ice cream today or build an ice cream shop tomorrow. And whenever you interact with a person or with a customer, with a client, whatever, always think about the long run. How can I help this person and how can I have this person stay with us in the long term? And in that way, you're thinking of them, not on you. Not trying to get the bug today or like the money right now or the ice cream right now. You're thinking of how can I build the ice cream shop tomorrow? You know, you're playing the long-term game. And I think when it comes to business or sales, that's key if you really want to win. Because when you have the short-term perspective, that's when you're thinking about you and you start making stupid decisions and you just forget about the person that's in front of you. But yeah, I mean, that was it with that one. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I do. So on playing the long game, that's literally how I got into choose who I was going to be with.
Yeah.
I started thinking long term. Okay, who is going to help me achieve what I truly want? So I'm going to be in this job for at least 5 years. Who's going to get me there? Like that. If you're going to play a long game, you've heard the term longevity. Longevity.
Yeah.
It's like Tom Brady played for who knows how much longer than the average quarterback.
Did you live like 20, 25 years?
25 years, dude. Average
and at a high level.
at the best level.
Yeah.
And and he wrote a book about literally longevity.
Yeah.
It's literally like, how did I make my body a tool to use all the time? And he talked about his stretches, and he talks about like what he ate. He talks about like how his movements were, how he could keep his rotator cuff the right way. He literally wrote a book, but the whole thing. And what's crazy is people think long term, but play short term. So what I notice people do, you know what's crazy, is like we're spiritual creatures that have a body.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we go into sales and we're like, okay, I'm going to be the greatest salesperson ever. And I'm going to hit all these sales goals. Dude, first off, like that in itself is a finite game. Like any long-term game is actually a spiritual game. Any game that actually matters is a spiritual game. So like if we're building relationships, it's so that you can uplift them to their higher heights. You're building people.
Yeah.
Like that's a spiritual thing. It's not a money thing. Money lasts zero time, man. Like it's in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter. And so playing the long-term game, one thing that helps us and that we really pushed on the sales team was God first. And God first means actually on your calendar, God is first. Like, is he the first thing? Wake up, roll out of bed, God first. Pray, scriptures. Like, is he actually first? And I cannot talk to you about playing the long game if I'm not talking to you about God.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's literally no way, because nothing, no temporal thing, no business, nothing is long term compared to God.
And now I want to add something to this, because this is something that pisses me off that people don't understand, is that when they talk about God or their spiritual stuff, they think that God only cares about your spiritual area. And that's a lie.
That is a lie.
God cares about all areas in your life. He wants you to win mentally. He wants you to win physically. He wants you to win financially. And he wants you to win spiritually. In fact, he wants you to win way more than you want to win in your own personal life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that I truly believe in. Because God is a father that is, he wants you to be successful in all areas in your life. Not just when you go to church or when you're wearing like normal, like cool clothes and stuff. In my opinion, and this is a fact, you can have way more success in all areas in your life once you apply God and those spiritual principles in those areas.
Totally.
Financially, I know for a fact that if I can keep God in my life, I can have way more success financially, because with God I can do way more than I can do on my own.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that people don't understand. But I truly believe that God wants to support us in our dreams. God wants to support us in our goals, if they're righteous, for sure. But, and I mean, obviously we're talking about people who want to do good and helping people and everything, so they align. But I truly believe that 100%.
I mean, how many stories do we know about people doing unethical sales practices and then being sued for everything and went bankrupt?
Oh, I know a lot of them, for sure.
That's literally people playing the short-term game and not playing with God. And so we're in that circle. It's not like life is business. That's not what it is. Life is God, and we happen to do business.
Yeah. And with God, you can make more money.
Yeah.
And you can help more people.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. You can, and every time.
He can open a lot of doors that you can't.
I can promise you that if you sell ethically, you'll make more sales.
Oh, but that's a fact.
And here's the deal: is sometimes people push sales, but guess what? They don't make more money because now you're selling one-time services when it's supposed to be a year-long subscription.
That's the thing. They maybe make more money in a year, but 5 years down the road, they don't retain any of their customers because of the experience, because they didn't care about the people.
You know what matters, dude, is long-term.
Yeah.
Right now, like you and I, we're 23, right? You're 23 for 4 more days, which is crazy.
I know.
So we're 23 right now. Can I just like just break everyone's mentalities that listen to this?
Yeah.
No one cares about us and will never remember us.
I'll remember you. Doesn't matter, bro.
But it doesn't matter, dude. Like who is your great grandpa?
I don't know.
Like, you don't even know your great grandpa? So how are they gonna remember Ben Petch?
Oh, yes. I mean,
like,
yeah, that is true.
Who was the first emperor of China?
I don't know, but everybody knows Kobe Bryant.
Right now. In 200 years, Kobe Bryant is completely forgotten. He'll be in a book, but if you didn't read the book,
Okay,
you
what
don't know
about
him.
Jesus?
Okay, so boom, spiritual. But I'm talking about you and I.
Yeah.
We're talking, that's a God, right? You and I, dude. Nobody's going to remember us. And so might as well do what actually matters.
And I think, like, because don't get me wrong, like, something I look for in trying to build is I want to build legacy. I want people, when they think about Ben, be like, that was a great guy. He cared about me.
Why?
Because that's how I want to be remembered when I'm not around. You know, I see, like, the people that have influenced my life, that they keep influencing my life when they're not even around because of their example. You know, and that's something I really try to do because of all of this. Like, all this creates that impact, because not a lot of people focus on that. Because a lot of people that just focus on themselves, they create a bad experience for everybody else. But you don't find a lot of people that, I don't know, dude. Like, there's the most impactful leaders, like, let's say Martin Luther King. When did he die?
It's like 70 or 60 something.
You still remember, like, freaking, like, people that you remember, like, a long time ago that we read in books and stuff. Like, I still remember those guys because of
But all those people were playing a spiritual game.
Oh no, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
100%.
Those are the only people that last. Like, who is the richest person in year 200? Who is the richest person ever in year 200?
It was Caesar.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
My great grandpa.
Same guy. But I think it's kind of refreshing to know that. It's kind of refreshing to know that 200 years down the road, no one's going to remember us. Like seriously, like we will have, you know what's exciting is we get to impact everybody while we're here.
Yeah.
Like while we're here, we got influence, we have the ability to change people's lives. But knowing that nobody will remember, that tells me that like we got to work to do. While we're here, while people are here, we got to live with urgency, right? We get, just like we always talk about.
It's a big word.
It's a big word.
I hope somebody would like
Make a brand.
It would be a good marketing.
But I guess I share that because it's like this is a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably not like where everybody was gonna go, where you wanted to go into all of that stuff, or like just like such a spiritual thing. But guess what?
But it is.
But like that's why the group that we have in the tribe and the group that we have at 20U, it's different. There's actually a substance.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's really exhausting is looking everywhere for substance where there's no substance. We're looking to nurture our souls where we think that feeling that money is going to give us is going to fill our soul. But guess what?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It lasts for like 1 or 2 days and then it's gone.
You know what fills our soul, Ben? You know why it's so freaking fun to do 20U? It's because we get to get those people.
It's the people, bro.
That come back and say, you've changed my life.
It's the freaking people. Like, dude, like, that's something that I mean, you have money, the cars and everything. Like, you're still the same dude. Like, it doesn't change anything. So, like, you can have all the money in the world and stuff, but, like, maybe you feel good for 1 or 2 days or something. But then you're like, yeah, it's cool. But, like, at the end of the day, it's the people that truly fulfills you in life.
It is.
You know, it's the culture, it's the relationships. It's, like, everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I want to do like really fun things, and I think that's fun, but I don't want it more than I want to have Jesus Christ in my life.
Yeah.
And I think as long as we keep a perspective of a higher power, then we're going to be safer than when we just think about us. And ultimately, I think if people in the sales space or in the business space thought that way, I think that we'd have a lot of different types. We'd have better products in the world. Like millions of products would be better.
And not just products, dude, but I think, because look at our society right now. Look at how messed up our society is. I truly believe we have a cultural problem.
Agreed.
And you look at entrepreneurs and business owners and all these companies that they have the opportunity to influence people within their community and within their space and employees, and they're not doing it because of the lack of culture. Because they're focusing on a transactional thing. They're focusing on a money thing, and they're not focusing on people. You know, and they have so much influence. They have so much proximity within those people that they're not taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
So I truly believe we have a culture problem here.
Yeah.
You know, and I truly believe like brands that the ones that we're building at Stanford, like 20U, your group, it's the culture and how that culture influences the people in that community. That's how you actually change society.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree.
So
I couldn't agree anymore.
I think that's a huge thing when it comes to like leadership and entrepreneurs and people that start something, even athletes, because they still have a lot of influence, but it's a cultural problem.
Can I add one more group of people in that? Parents.
Like it's the same thing. They don't have culture in their house.
If you're dropping the ball as a dad, like that's not, the most important unit in society is the family.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just think a lot about this kind of stuff.
That's why, like, dude, and it's all related to sales.
It is.
How to create culture, how to help people. Like, that's why I think it's so I don't think it is super important.
Yeah, sales and leadership is essentially the same thing.
It's a lifestyle.
It's influence.
It's 100%. And I want to give some invitations because I think we're running out of time, so we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Something that is really good, so you can apply this right away, is I try to do this almost every day, and it has really helped me with my social skills when it comes to people. Talk to people every single day. Talk to one new person every single day. And instead of just like, hey, how you doing? Where do you go to school? And just like a cold freaking conversation, get to know somebody else in a more deeper level. Because again, sales and everything is a mental thing, and a lot of it is like the fear and the self-doubt of talking to a stranger that you don't know and how to build a connection and a bridge with them and for them to trust you. And a good way to do that is just literally do it. Just talk to people. You know, when you go to a grocery store, when you go to the gym, that's something I do at the gym every single time I'm in the sauna. Hey, dude, how you doing? What'd you work out today? Okay, cool. What's your name? Where you from? Okay. Oh, what do you do for work? Okay, why did you choose that? Okay, just a company. What's your family? And I just build conversation. I don't even like tell them about me. I'm just trying to make them feel important, and it gives me so much good energy. And I break all those walls that I have mentally of like me talking to a stranger, just talking to people, building connections and bridges with people that you don't know. Because I think business and life and everything is about people. People make your life way easier and more enjoyable.
You know, I just like put two and two together. You remember how we were talking about legacy and like people remember? Yeah. The most remembered people were the most selfless people that we've ever known.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Gandhi, like.
Is that the soccer player? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's not the soccer.
You know, Jesus, obviously. It's a joke. You know, all those people, dude. It's just like the most, you know, Martin Luther King. It's like selfless. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
That was a good episode, bro. That was a lot of freaking value. Guys, I'm telling you, if you don't know anything about self, if you suck, if you want to get into it, if you want to make money, if you want to help people, listen, apply this stuff. Because this is good information if you apply it. Now, Derek, last advice for people. We talked about sales. We talked about God. We talked about culture, a bunch of stuff. What would you tell the upcoming generation? Something that you wanna finish with?
I would say the most important person is the person right next to you. That's just like the first thing that I would say, because everybody's sitting next to somebody. You're gonna see someone in 10 seconds. You're looking at someone right now. Whoever knows you know. The most important person is the person right next to you. And I think if we think that way, I think there's going to be a lot of things that change. And we're going to make a real difference. And it's going to be one by one, just like we were talking. It's going to change culture. It's going to be about a win-win mentality. Business is a spiritual game, but it all starts from thinking outside of ourselves.
Dude, this was such a great, I think it's one of my favorite ones. Because a lot of the episodes that we've done is just like storytelling and talk about like mental stuff and everything. But this is like specific sales stuff, which is really cool, like educating people on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many notes of like specific sales tactics that I had, but none of them compare in relation to this underlying principle.
Because a lot of people, they focus on those tactics, but they don't have any of the foundation of the stuff, the principles that we just talked about.
Yeah, if you have that foundation, then these other things make sense.
They just come naturally.
Yep.
100%. All right, brother. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
I love you with all my heart, my mind, and strength. And I'm excited because we should do another one. Talking about sales or something else about like, we should talk about something about spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
Or like God or something. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Anyways, love you guys. And stay tuned for more episodes with Stanford with Ben. See you guys later. Bye.